Today is Saturday. Saturday is the day of the third eye chakra. Today we're doing a reading for the third eye chakra. And as you can see, the way that you start the mantra for the third eye chakra is I see. So when you're speaking to yourself and reminding yourself of who you are and what you are and your vision, because that's what the third eye chakra is all about, your vision, your imagination, tapping into that 4D. You start that off with I see, right? So I like the way that the message flowed yesterday, even though, let me spill just a little bit before I get into the message for today. I had a hard time delivering that message yesterday, and I started to delete it and start over, but I said, no, I'm going to push through and post it anyway. So if it sounded like I was rambling and all over the place, it's because I was really struggling to get that message out, right? And then after I watched it back, I could follow it, but in some parts it was like, yeah, you should have been focusing on this as opposed to focusing on that. And I think a couple of days ago, judgment and criticism came out in the reading. So that's for me. I need to stop judging and criticizing myself and just put these messages out. So we're going to go ahead and get started by pulling a fortune today. Let's see what we got. Your heart is pure, your mind is clear, your soul is devout. Okay? Your heart is pure, your mind is clear, and your soul is devout. Devout meaning devoted, right? So let's see what we get. Which deck do I want to start with today? I think I'm going to start with these today. Let's see what message we get to start the reading for the third eye chakra. See what energy we need to focus on as far as clearing the third eye chakra. That card comes out a lot for me. Clearing the third eye chakra and helping ourselves to have clear vision, right? Because remember, we started off saying that your heart is pure, your mind is clear. So clear, having a clear mind. So we start off with the spade and then entropy, interesting. And then we got the spring card on top. So that's something that you might want to put a note in the back of your mind for something happening or something evolving or something that you're envisioning with your third eye happening for you in the spring. Okay. So the spade and entropy. The spade card a spade is a tool that is used to dig in the ground, right? And when I see this card, it reminds me of digging up roots, digging up the soil and planting fresh seeds or planting new roots or unrooting something from the ground, right? It can be any of those things. And then we have entropy. And this card, as you can see from what I wrote on here, it says lack of predictability, disorder, and randomness. So the way that that's coming together for me is that you are uprooting the disorder in your life, uprooting the randomness meaning not having a whole lot of order and structure to the way that you do things. So I see this as you uprooting and planting new seeds to help you have more order in your life and to help you not necessarily have more predictability in your life, even though that it could go that way, but to have more order and structure in your life versus being a person that is random and does not have any predictability. Like you're just kind of like a free flowing, go with the flow, spur of the moment type of person. So I see you planting seeds to add more order in your life. And here, look, I'm not here to judge anybody for being a go with the flow type of person because that's the type of person that I am. But it's always room to add more order and structure to your life, right? So let's see what else we get to build on this message. Okay, so we have the King of Clubs, which is a mental card, which flows with the energy of the third eye chakra. And then we also have this card on top, which is the Two of Clubs, which is also the club suite is the mental suite in the in cardology. So you have the hearts, which is emotions, which relate to the cups in the tarot. And then you have the spades, which is equivalent to the wands in the tarot. And then you have the diamonds, which is equivalent to the pentacles. And then you have the clubs, which is equivalent to the swords. And that's how I read them. Other people may switch the clubs and the spades, but for me, this is what flows because these cards talk more about the mental realm. So the King of Clubs here, as you can see from what I wrote on here, I don't know if you can read that, but I wrote at the top, this is the most psychic card in the deck, right? So he is a master teacher. And if it's a woman, this person is into beauty and makeup. This person can be a chef. This person has a lot of sensory things going on with them. Hold on, I'm gonna bring the card close to me so I can read that because I don't know what that says. I still don't know what it says, so I'm gonna skip it. Recognized for knowledge, king of knowledge. So let's bring that together. So you are uprooting disorder in your life based on knowledge that you have. And I'm feeling like that's leading back to this knowledge that you have based on what you've seen, knowledge that you have based on your experiences in life, and knowledge that you have based on you just knowing what you know because you're tapped in psychically, right? So you're uprooting some disorder in your life and uprooting some randomness in your life, and you may be getting the nudge to do this psychically, like it might be coming to you in the mental realm first. And maybe, okay, another way that I'm seeing this and hearing this is if you're a person who struggles with being structured and having a structured life, maybe you've been getting or having thoughts about where to start when it comes to adding structure to your life, right? I'm just trying to throw out as many scenarios as possible because I know that this reading is seen by people who have different situations, right? Everything doesn't resonate with everybody. So we have the hope card. The hope card says, hope is a beam of light in the darkness. So as you're uprooting, okay, so hold on, let me go back to the spade card. This card keeps being very relevant in every single message, it seems like. So when you go back to the spade card and you're dealing with uprooting things, digging into the earth, when you dig down into that, if you want to think about that in terms of your spiritual walk, uprooting things deep inside of you, you're going within the darkness of yourself. So you're uprooting things from within the darkness of yourself in order to reach this hope or this beam of light in the darkness. In order to get to the other side, in order to come out of the darkness and reach the light, we have to go. In order to come into the light, we have to go into the darkness first. And sometimes that darkness, not sometimes, all the time, that darkness it starts within us, and we have to not be afraid to address certain things within ourselves in order to reach the light, right? I hope that makes sense for somebody. Let's see what else we get to build on this message. This card has been coming out every single day, every day. For some of you, you're receiving messages in your dreams, signs, symbols, and guidance in your dreams. And that again can be tied to that uprooting things from a dark space. I'm also getting this as the subconscious mind. So uprooting things from the subconscious mind in order to stay in a place of hopefulness. So when you are changing your mind, changing your vision, changing the way that you see things, it's necessary to uproot your current way of thinking so that you may evolve and expand into a new way of thinking, right? Connection. Again, this card is about universal oneness, love, interconnection, and support. So just know that you are loved and you are supported at this time as you are uprooting some chaos that might be festering within your subconscious mind as you are moving to another level of um I'm hearing psychicness, but I've been hesitating about saying it. But that matches the most psychic card and the third eye card. That definitely matches. So if you're moving to another level of psychicness within yourself, know that you are loved, supported, and connected. Even if it's not in the physical, you have to understand and you have to know within yourself. You have to know that you know that you know that you are supported energetically on the other side. You have support, you have angelic support, you have ancestral support, you have support from the light beings on the other side. Whether your language is different, everybody doesn't have the same language when it comes to their spirit team, but just know that you have spiritual support on the other side, right? So I'm closing this reading out with these last three cards. We have mudras, unprocessed anger, and grief. So, and remember, this card came out in the spring, about the springtime. So I'm feeling like some of y'all are doing some deep subconscious reprogramming, and you're going to be able to see a difference in your life and in your way of thinking come springtime, right? So some of us are this chaos right here that is sitting deep within us in our subconscious mind, lingering there, in the darkness that I spoke about with the hope card. That disorder and that chaos that we're uprooting, it's stemmed from some unprocessed anger and some grief. And grief, I learned this definition of grief recently watching TikTok videos, I think. Somebody said, I wish I could remember their name because I would shout them out. I don't believe in just taking people's information and regurgitating it like it's my own. I like to give people credit. But somebody said that grief is love with nowhere to go, right? And sometimes when you're grieving and you don't know how to process that grief, you don't know what to do with that grief, you don't have anybody to talk to about that grief, it can turn into anger, right? So the Mudras card, I feel like that's here to give you a reminder of how to speak life into yourself, speak life into this grief, and speak life into this unprocessed anger. So you would look for affirmations to help you deal with grief and to help you process, or help you at least give language to the anger that is there that you may not necessarily be aware of. But this reading is all about uprooting that anger, holding on to that beam of hope, that light in the darkness. As you uproot this darkness within, I don't want anybody to feel like I'm attacking them when I say darkness within you, because there is duality in life, right? Everything has an opposite. So there's light and then there's darkness. So as you are dealing with the darkness that's in you and dealing with this grief and unprocessed anger, hold on to that beam of hope. As you're receiving these psychic messages and psychic downloads, turn them into mudras to help you get through this processing, this time of processing and releasing. And also know that you're loved and supported, right? You have support on the other side. So I like to think, so I'm a person that communicates, whether I'm talking to another person or I'm talking aloud to myself. And I want to share this with you. When I talk out loud to myself, people from the outside looking in will say that person is crazy for talking to themselves. But I like to think when I'm talking to myself, I'm talking to God. So I share that with you so that you'll maybe take on that same mindset and talk through some of this stuff, but not necessarily talk to a person, talk to God, because remember, you're supported on the other side, whether you see it, realize it or not, right? So that's all I have for you today. I hope that you were able to find something here that resonated with you. And as a reminder, again, your heart is pure, your mind is clear, and your soul is devout. This is a reminder, a message to you, letting you know that your soul is devoted to helping you to elevate, heal, process, unroot, and reroot in love and all of the goodness that you need to help you ascend at this time of your life, ascend to whatever it is that you're ascending to, right? the new level. See, I told y'all yesterday when these messages come through, sometimes I be stuttering, so that's my sign to go on to close this out. But I send you love on your journey of ascending, right? Peace.